Hello everyone. Question is about describe various flood mitigation measures. We will see what are the various flood mitigation measures. Flood control is also known as a flood management. In India, about 14 mega hectares of land is a flood prone, which is about 12% of the total geographical area of 328 megahertz. There are two type of measures to mitigate the flood. Sorry, there is a mistake. Flood disaster. First is a structural mitigation measure, second is a non-structural mitigation measure. First is a structural mitigation measure, like storage of reservoir, levees. We can create storage of reservoir, levees, flood walls, channel improvement works to floodways, construction of high earth platforms, division of flood water to sluices. These are the structural measures. Now, what are the non-structural measures? First is a floodplain zoning. What is a floodplain zoning? It means dividing the entire floodplain area into different zones and to restrict the occupancy of the different zones of the floodplain to use which will suffer little or no damage due flood. It is also mistake due flood. Okay. The objective of floodplain zoning to restrict encroachment of the zones which frequently comes under the influence of the flood. Second is to direct selected activities in the zone which comes under the influence of flood less frequently in such a manner that they are susceptible to flood damage. Third is to demarcate the zones which are subjected to flood only on rare occasions. Second, flood forecasting and warning. Flood forecasting or warning, it could be conveyed earlier. Disaster due to the probable flood can be minimized to be a greater extent. Temporary evacuation of persons and shifting the important properties of the safe place could be done before the flood arrives. Once the flood occurs, the normal activity of the society are badly disrupted with immense losses. In India, several floods forecasting unit has been operating at New Delhi, Guwahati, Jalpaiguri, Patna, Bhubaneswar, Surat, and Lucknow. Okay. Forecasting of flood magnitude is evaluated by following methods. There are several methods. We have studied these methods during the term of water resource subject in semester 6 in civil engineering. First is a rainfall runoff relationship. Second is a unit hydrograph. Third is a synthetic unit hydrograph. We also known as SUH. Flood routing models both hydrological and hydraulic state discharge relationships. Third, emergency evacuation of area. Sometimes emergency evacuation of the threatened area is one of the most effective answer of the reducing flood damages. Okay. This technique is adopted for separately populated means area where the property is also low valued. This area do not justify other expensive methods of flood control. Loss of life can be prevented by emergency evacuations. Fourth is the management of floodplains. The floodplain of river is formed by sediment depositions of removal which usually occurs due to the intermediate overflows of the stream above its banks. The various tools of the floodplain management are as follows, like flood hazard survey, floodplain zoning, flood proofing, flood insurance, like things. Fifth is a flood proofing. It essentially consists of the combinations of both structural change and emergency actions. Structural change include construction of building walls with some waterproofing materials, closure of lower level windows, construction of the house with the arrangement of the sills. So these are the points you have to mention during the question and answer. Go through this. Thank you.